a lot of things people buy is like immediate depreciation.
For people with younger kids, like I'm teaching my daughter some level of financial money knowledge as well as economics of like supply and demand. And
You get 50% off
right,
if you buy right now.
it's just insanely easy to spend as much money as you want to.
Yeah, it's showing them that they can still do some of the same things that they're doing, but improve their life in the long run if they listen to you.
Yeah, and sometimes they don't even need to change things. They just need to not make it worse in the future. So glad to have everybody back here. Fun to have the three of us sitting together. It's rare that not one of you is behind the computer. So it's cool that we're all sitting at the table today. We've got Catherine behind, making sure that everything's run properly. So we'll see how this turns out at the end of the episode. But going off of last week's show when Kelsey and I were talking, we were really just going through a lot of different things that people run into in their daily lives when it comes to money. And Troy, you kind of brought up some really good points with some spending issues that people have. So why don't you kick us off with some of the topics and kind of dive into some things that people are dealing with?
Oh gosh, yeah. I think one, I spend too much on clothes. I'll see like a new Young LA launch or Gymshark or whatever it is, and I'm just like, okay, I gotta get that.
Yeah.
Or I gotta look at that at least.
I do that too. I do that all the time.
And then as of late, my nephew, he actually has been spending on watches.
Okay. So that
So
can become an expensive habit.
yeah, this new affliction for watches due to my roommate. They're just like super into it, watching 3-hour auctions on what kind of watches to get.
Oh, geez. Yeah, it's crazy. Impulse buying is a real thing. And there's some stuff that I think is thought out, or some things that, again, like watch impulse buying could be a very expensive habit. But yeah, people do it with clothes, people do it with, I think we talked last time about coffee.
I do it with coffee every single day.
Yeah.
I just need it.
Yeah, and it's just it goes into the daily flow of life. Like every single place that we go, the ability to spend money is easier than ever,
Yeah.
and there are more places fighting for our attention more
Yeah.
than ever. So think about, for you guys, it's a long time ago, like before you were probably even paying attention to it, but 15, 20 years ago, when I was like just kind of becoming an adult, making money, starting to spend, it was very different. Like I couldn't just pull up my phone and make a transaction right there.
Yeah, with Apple Pay, now it's so easy to
Yeah.
just double tap your phone,
Right.
Oh
and
yeah.
you've already spent like $20.
I was watching the football game the other day, and these Thursday night games are on Amazon. And during the commercials, it's like, do you want to add this to your Amazon list?
Yeah.
And
I
you
get
click a
those too.
button on your remote,
your
and now
TV.
it's right. So
Yeah.
now it's like, now you're watching TV, and not only is it a commercial, but it's a transactional commercial.
Mhm.
And then you can go on your phone. So I can be on there, I'm scrolling, I'm watching something, but I could be buying clothes or whatever on my phone, where 20 years ago, like the internet didn't have the capabilities to do that type of stuff. So everybody is fighting for our dollars. And in a world where, like you said, with Apple Pay, my credit cards are linked to my phone.
Yeah.
So you could go click spend, and for 30 days or 45 days or whatever your credit like cycle is, you're not even thinking about paying the money until that credit card bill is due. So
Yeah.
you're really like deficit spending for a lot of people.
Yeah, then you
Mhm.
see $1,000 credit card bill. I mean, we have Black Friday and Cyber Monday coming up soon.
Right.
Speaking of Amazon, they almost have a monopoly on those days.
Right.
You used to see people lining up at the malls. People aren't doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple places. I mean, if you go like where we are, Miramar Outlets has like a cool like Black Friday deal. But yeah, the novelty of going and standing outside somewhere, where when I was a kid, that was something that we like looked forward to and was like a
Yeah.
fun day. Now, why do it? You get the best deals online. You don't have to stand out in the cold. You get it delivered right to your house or right to the person that you're sending the gift
Yeah.
to. It's a totally different economy than it was before. And again, it takes away the transaction of writing a check or paying cash or using a debit card. You have a credit card linked to these accounts, and again, it's a very different psychological way of spending.
Yeah, no, it's just way too easy to spend money now. And especially now there's like all these apps where you can like buy something now and then pay for it later
Yeah.
or like in payments.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of these things out there, and I've seen, I don't even know, like, what the names of all of them are, but, yeah, you can literally pay in installments, you can do it, but what is the true cost of that?
Yeah.
So you buy something for $100, it may cost you 125 or $150, but you get it now, and people are like, "I'll just figure it out later."
Mhm.
You're essentially taking out a 25 or 50% loan, and people don't view it that way. They're like, "Oh, no, I'll just pay $25, but it'll be 3 weeks from now, so I get it." And they don't think of it like a regular loan, like a student loan or a mortgage or a car payment, and you do the math and you're like, "Oh, wow, I just took out like a very predatory loan to get the immediate gratification of this small item."
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
very much somebody who's like, if I have the money and I want something, like, I'm gonna pay for it right then. If I have it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, I don't wanna do those small payments because if I start to do that, it could just stack up. I don't know what your
Mhm.
opinion is on that, but
Yeah, I'm a huge proponent of just buying things in cash. People should
Mhm.
not overspend. We live in a culture that is very lifestyle based, and I've seen so many people get into trouble by trying to keep up with other people's lifestyles or just not understanding how money works and getting into credit card debt or burying themselves just in commercial goods that don't amount to anything. So they're living paycheck to paycheck. They're not saving anything. They miss out on market runs, and then they have stuff that is essentially worthless. So again, I don't want to say it's worthless, but they have clothes or things that you don't have a resale value to. So maybe you enjoy them and you use them, but you're not getting monetary use back from it in the future.
yeah. So, like, a lot of things people buy is, like, immediate depreciation. Cars
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah, at least cars hold some type of value, but think about just, I mean, anything that, like clothes.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a secondhand market for clothes. I guess if it's on the higher end side, shoes has a big secondary market depending on how you use them. But for most things that we buy, they're like one time use or limited use items, and then it's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
So in the course of a day, I mean, I know like we had a meeting and we had lunch. Like we bought that, we consume it, and then we throw everything away. Like that money's gone forever.
Yeah.
But we ate. Um, again, clothes, you go out and buy a new shirt. Like, is your thought, I'm gonna wear this 10 times and then put this on eBay?
Never.
No.
Probably not. So it's like
No.
100% loss. Now you get to wear it and we need clothes. But yeah, I think a lot of people are just they're buying things that ultimately have no resale value or they don't ever intend to sell.
Yeah, no, exactly. I've had some friends that have bought the higher end stuff, the Supremes, and like they go shopping on eBay for those type of things. That down the line they will sell it. Same with the watches. I mean,
Sure.
some of them you can resell.
Yeah.
It's just you got to be smart about it.
Yeah, there's definitely a market for things like collectibles or things that are trendy.
Hmm.
So watches, shoes, cars, different things like that. Like they do hold some level of value, and again, they will transact. Most cars don't just go to one owner and then get retired. It's a car will be bought, it'll get traded in for a new car, somebody will buy it as a used vehicle, and cars switch hands a lot. So there is a
Yeah,
secondary market to that. But
Mhm.
for most items like this cup, I'm not like super eager to go and buy like a used cup.
Yeah.
that is true.
So
Yeah,
it's like, what could the value be if we paid, I don't know what that goes for, but 10 to 15 or $20 or whatever that is. Like, am I going to say I can save $3 by buying this used? I mean, maybe somebody does, or there's a place like at a Goodwill or you could go and buy something, but there's just not the market when people just say, I can click the button on my phone, get a brand new one, or they may not want our logo on it. They want their own logo or no logo.
hmm,
So they'll pay the extra money to have it the way that they want it and have it shipped right to them, the convenience factor.
yeah. It's like the garage sales. I mean, like some of that stuff is being resold for 25 cents. I mean, you might not know what you have. You might have an old action figure that you sell for $5, and somebody does know. So
Right.
like, there's those people who are going out and really looking for the nice steals and stuff. What's the new toy? That's a big thing. Do you know what it's called?
New toy.
the little like
The
big
Labubu thing.
the boo boo.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have
Yeah.
2 Labubu.
See, you knew what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter, they
I
have
have
like a
2 of those.
Labubu club at school.
I have 1 of those? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's big. Again, I don't have no clue what it is. I just know that they have it.
It just sounds like it's supposed to be the next hot thing.
Yeah.
It was hot for maybe, like, 2 months,
Oh,
like,
yeah?
over the summer, and now nobody wants to buy them. Like, you cannot resell those because nobody wants to buy them.
Said they were boom and then a bust
Yeah.
pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then there's like the fad stuff. So going back to when I was a kid, there was stuff like Pokemon cards that was
Mhm.
like a fad. Now fast forward 20 some years later where you're seeing people like Logan Paul buying them for millions of dollars. So there is something to like longevity and keeping things preserved, but who knows what that's going to be and how many people, just like the old Mickey Mantle baseball cards, like put them in the spokes of their bike, rode around with them, destroyed them, and now if you had one in pristine condition, it's worth millions upon millions of dollars. So I think some of it is the fact that things stand the test of time,
Yep.
and then they're preserved, and so many people had something that was fairly common that was destroyed, so just the limited access to something being in good shape. But again, who knows whether that's gonna be the Labubu, the Supreme, the whatever the next cool pair of Jordans are or whatever it is. It's just it's impossible, and you can't just go out and buy everything and then hold it all and hoard it
Yeah.
and be like, "Okay, one of these is gonna pop." Like, it just I mean, if you're a collector, maybe you have a good idea and you have an eye for it, but I think people chase these fads, and then they get stuck holding the bag, and they end up with a whole bunch of stuff worth nothing.
Yeah. So how if you can go back when like all those cards were going out and stuff, like did people know or were they just it seems like they didn't and now like I think there's no way to know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we had some stuff, my brother and I, when we were kids, but yeah, probably somewhere along the line they got thrown away or they were played with or something happened. Like when I was a kid, I wasn't in the collector mindset that I am now. Like now I have a sports card business and I'm kind of in the the business of like collecting rare stuff and holding it and selling it. But my mindset 25 years ago when I was a kid or 30 years ago was not like, I'm going to get this thing and just keep it in pristine condition for 30 years. It was, I'm
Yeah.
going to get this and play with it because it looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's the kid aspect and then the adult aspect of now I'm hanging on to a lot of like really rare Disney stuff for my daughter. So we go and we buy stuff together, and then I'll collect stuff and I'll put stuff away for her that is ultra rare of things that I think will ultimately be timeless. So
Mhm.
I have sports cards that I transact with often, but things that have been around for 100 plus years, I like to keep and preserve for her. So that one day, 20 years from now, if it's worth substantially more than it is, like she didn't have to worry about playing with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of wish my parents did that a little bit. I had some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Yeah.
some Batman action figures. Like those
Yeah.
things aren't around as much
No.
nowadays.
And all the stuff that I'm doing could be worth zero.
Yeah.
So like I don't know that it's going to be good. I'm just saying that as part of my overall portfolio and my overall collection of stuff, I'm preserving some of it, and if it
Mhm.
pans out, it's great, and if it doesn't, it didn't change my lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a big purchase and then it just drops. It's just something that's like $45 and maybe it increases into something bigger.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
But oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say my dad's been doing that, like collecting all the baseball cards since he was younger, like
Yeah.
12. And he's got like this massive collection and he just keeps swearing to me that these baseball cards and like all these basketball and football cards, they're gonna be worth so much money. And I'm like, how do you know that? Like,
Yeah, well, some of them, if they're that old, they might already be.
yeah.
So, but there's a market for it. So just like the stock market, if you're into it, I can pull up on any given day what the value of a particular card is, and I know that I can transact relatively quickly on that. So
Mhm.
for a lot of things, just like with shoes, I mean, there are websites that have been created solely around the transaction of these things, which is insane that a secondary market can be created for items that were again never meant to be like resold or transacted with outside of buying it from the store and then having it go to the end consumer.
yeah, there's whole conventions for these things. There's whole influencers that sell these things
Yeah.
and It's
Mhm.
kind of crazy. Like,
Yeah. And it's cool. Again, from the standpoint of what people should have, like I'm a huge fan of diversification. So I like whenever our clients have different things. Like people should have some type of real estate if they feel like they should be exposed to that. They should have money in cash. They should have money in investments. They should have retirement. They should have alternatives. So whether they collect gold coins or things like that, in my case, it's sports cards, it's memorabilia, it's things like that. That is a very, very small part of my portfolio, but it's an alternative category that I think is cool and I have an interest in. I think too for people with younger kids, like I'm teaching my daughter some level of financial money knowledge as well as economics of like supply and demand and
Mm.
kind of driving prices and things like that with things that she can relate to. So she looks at something like a Minnie Mouse card and she understands, okay, this has a value today. It had a value before. If we want to buy it, we have to pay this much. If we want to sell it, we can get this much. It's a way of turning dollars into something that kids can relate to, so I've used that in my personal life to kind of teach some level of economics to a very young child.
yeah, she's not very old.
No.
What do you think about physical versus the like stocks, the unintangibles, for investing?
I think it's preference. Um, there are days that I go into my office or at my house and I'm like, the idea of owning a portfolio of ETFs that quote unquote like own baseball cards is cool because I just have an abundance of stuff in my office. But then there are days where I'm like, I physically own this and nobody can take it from me. So regardless of the value, I have that baseball card or I have this like gold coin or I have whatever it is. So I think that's a personal preference. There are things that track things pretty closely. So you can buy a gold index or a gold future or something like that where it kind of is the same as having a piece of gold or closely enough related to the true value.
Mhm.
So I just think that's a personal preference. I have clients that have coins, I have clients that have the index. I have clients that now everything is digital with stocks, but some of my clients come in with paper shares of what they have and we have to digitize them. But I don't know that there's a right answer to that. I like
For sure,
physically
yeah.
having the stuff, but then
Yeah.
there are days where I'm like, I just have a bunch of clutter.
Yeah, it's like you said, diversification.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, preference. My grandparents had a lot of stocks and bonds. 30-year-old. What you have to wait like 30 years to like actually cash them in until they have
Oh,
like
like old
value.
old school like savings bonds
Yeah.
probably. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They're very. Grandma's in her 90s, so yeah, they lived through quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, that was like when I was growing up, it was a big communion gift. So you
Yeah.
had your first communion, you got a bunch of the stocks or the savings bond certificates, and then they matured 10, 15, 20 plus years later. So now I assume that all of that is digital, but still
Yeah.
in my era, we had the physical certificates that so whenever we were like moving or my mom found them, she's like, "Hey, I found all these savings bonds from when you were a kid." And literally she like mailed me an envelope with like all of this stuff. And it's funny, it was like somebody paid $10 for a $25 savings bond 20 years in the future. So you just had a bunch of these different promissory notes and you take them to a bank and cash them in and they give you money for it. But yeah, it was just a very old school
Yeah.
Wait,
way
that's
of
like cool. I've never heard of that
oh
before.
really?
Really?
Yeah, I was like, what are you talking? That's
It's funny. So
cool.
I was probably given these before you were born. And then
Considering I've
and then
never
I
heard of them.
yeah. So yeah, it's just a difference in timing. Everything now is digital, but the way that even stocks and bank notes were transacted years ago is so different. It's something that you'll probably never experience.
Yeah.
And my daughter will have no idea that any of this stuff ever existed.
So crazy to think about.
And it's gonna be completely different 50 years from now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now everything is driven from our phone. And kind of going back to what we were talking about at the beginning, it's just so easy to get whatever you want. I mean, I remember when going back to just, I don't even know, grade school or high school, sat outside at a like a video game store whenever I think it was like the first Xbox came out. And it was like you had to go and wait to get it at the place. Now I was going on a trip. I had a stretch of travel, and I was telling our IT girl at the office, I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna be on a plane for 40 hours over the next 2 months." I'm like, "I'm gonna drive myself crazy if one of these planes doesn't have a TV. Like, I just can't. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be in a car." Just I was going to, like, obscure places that just had a ton of travel, and there was no direct way to get there. So I was like, "I need something to kill the time. Like, I can only read, like, so many books. I can only, like, do so much time." And she's like, "Oh, you should get" what was it, like, a Nintendo Switch. I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay." I'm like,
Those are
"Order me
fun.
whatever I need. Like, get me whatever games are fun that are, like,
Yeah.
mindless." Like, I'm not a gamer.
Hmm.
The next day, it was, like, at the office, and she had all the stuff, and she's like, "Here's how you work it, and here's all the stuff." And
Oh
but
yeah.
it was, like, instant that I just had it, where 30 years ago, I had to wait weeks and weeks and weeks for this thing to come out, and then I was, like, waiting in line to get it, or I had to drive to the store, have my parents drive me to the store to get this game.
Mhm.
I was literally sitting at my house, scrolling through, and I was like, "Oh, this thing's fun. I wonder if there's another thing similar to it."
Hmm.
On the console, it's, like, connected to the internet, and they're like, "You could just buy the digital version of the game."
Yeah.
So now in the thing that I'm holding in my hands that's not my phone, I'm buying a new game because my credit card's linked to this device. It's just insanely easy to spend as much money as you want to.
Oh yeah. I mean, I grew up. I had a Game Boy that was hand me down,
Yeah.
and then eventually grew up into the DS. Um, but yeah, even like we were talking about with the market for things, Game Boy. Like if you have a working Game Boy and you have like the discs that work that you blow into and stuff, like people pay a lot of money for
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a very, very different environment now, and vintage stuff is cool, and again, having something that's preserved. Almost 40 years ago, I had the original Nintendo. So it's like, yeah,
Mhm.
people are paying crazy amounts for that. But what are the odds that when we were kids, my brother and I would get mad, and I mean, games were getting thrown all over, controllers were getting smashed, and so it's like the odds that kids kept this stuff in working shape 40 years later is so rare. I can't even imagine how many of those things that we went through.
Yeah.
And then even in college, like we would play like Halo or whatever system was out, probably more Xbox. College was the worst because we were working and making money, and
Mhm.
people would get mad. Like controllers would get broken like crazy. And it was just like we'd go to the store the next day and we'd have to buy more stuff, and but you'd still have to physically go. Now I couldn't even imagine. Literally, you go on
Yeah.
and you have it brought to your dorm the next day.
Yeah, no, there's barely any GameStops anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked on their account in my previous job. I was putting up GameStop signs, but all they were closing down some stores. A lot of them were we were taking them down more than putting them up.
Yeah, I think brick
Mhm.
and mortar, there's definitely a novelty to it. And again, from the vintage side of people going and killing time. And we live in kind of a unique area where there's a lot of nostalgia. Like we have bookstores, we have
Yeah.
just an older demographic. So people like to do the type of stuff where I'm retired and I want to go browse and I want to do this stuff. When I travel around the country, I don't see a fraction of the things that we have here in kind of a big city environment. It's just different. Or stores that used to be gigantic. When I go to New York, there are stores that used to be multi-stories around the corner, and they have cut down drastically in the size that they have, or the inventory that they hold. There are places that I go where they're like, "Here, this is stuff for you to see it," but then you have to order it online, it'll get shipped to you. Like, you can't even walk out of the store with the item.
So
Really?
weird.
Yeah.
Wait, that's really weird, yeah.
Yeah, or they won't carry all the sizes. So they'll carry, like, a
Yeah.
size so you can see and feel it and touch it,
Yeah.
and then they'll be like, "What size are you?" And we'll send it to you.
Because
Yeah, I
they
knew they did
probably
that.
have like these distribution hubs where like
Right.
they would rather not send them all over the place to all their brick and mortar stores so they don't have to have all these physical items spread out because it's probably going to be more to actually like ship it.
For sure, and then think about all the stuff that's going on now with tariffs. So you talk
True.
about something that isn't manufactured in the US, you're talking about shipping it over from who knows where. You're now getting it into the country, you're getting it to a distribution center, you're sending it out to all of these different stores. Now you can just ship it right from the distribution center to the end user. So it probably cuts down a substantial amount on shipping, it avoids some of the extra cost of shipping it multiple times. All of these economic things play into it, and whenever you throw in technology, the AI of just clicking a button and having a computer do all of the work rather than a salesperson clicking it, sending it here, sending it here. It cuts down on a ton of mistakes too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean the technology now is just so optimized to benefit in like penny pinch, I guess you
Yeah.
could say, for each company. I mean, like they're trying to maximize profit.
And we're a fraction of the way of where we will be in
Oh
a
yeah.
handful of years. Like we're seeing just the scratching of the surface of all of this stuff. This will get so precise. It will be so laser focused. Everything will be drilled down to the most optimal way that you can cost cut or optimize how fast things get to people. I'm
Yeah.
fully convinced that within a couple years, you're going to be able to click a button and within minutes or hours, whatever that item is will be at your doorstep.
Well, it's like Amazon does same day shipping
Yeah,
now. So
right.
like you could order something on Amazon and it be there in the next like 4 hours.
And then there's the convenience factor of that.
Yeah.
So it's okay, why would I go and potentially support local business or why would I go to the store when I could have this? The other side too is what is the surcharge? So I've been guilty of this is something like an Uber Eats or a DoorDash or something where I'm like, okay, I don't want to pick it up or this restaurant doesn't offer delivery. I might be getting a $30 meal that I'm paying $45 for, which is essentially 50% more
Yeah.
for the meal to just have it brought to me.
Mm-hmm.
And you start to think about that in added up dollars and for the average family, like hidden costs. So maybe you're not paying interest, but you're paying a surcharge plus a tip plus all of this other stuff for the convenience factor of not going out. And how many times do you do that? And what is the erosion on your money just for the pure convenience factor of like, I don't want to call it laziness, but convenience.
Mhm.
And I think that that's something that people, again, 10 years ago, this stuff didn't exist. Like pizza places delivered when I
Yeah.
was a kid.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was like, you got to go get your food. Now
Yeah.
you literally have anything brought to you from pretty much any restaurant. You
Mm-hmm.
could order takeout from a 5-star restaurant. Some stranger will go pick it up and bring it to you.
Yeah,
Like
that's
that's a
so
wild
strange.
concept for somebody that like not long ago that
Yeah,
didn't exist.
that is
I
really
d
weird to
I
think
mean, I
about.
think, COVID really, like, amplified that aspect
For
Yeah,
of
sure.
it.
Yeah.
I agree.
But fortunately, like, I also think there at least down here, there's a lot of people, since it's, like, an older population, that really wanna get out into the community, so you have that other side
Yeah.
that, like, there's still people that wanna support the local businesses, and there's a lot of local businesses around here too.
Yeah. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
again, we live in a very unique spot. I mean, we
Oh,
have
yeah.
like the chains and we have the big commercialized things, but we have so much local business down here. We
Yeah.
live in a community that is essentially based on hospitality. So
Yeah.
outside of professional services, it's pretty much all hospitality. There's a couple manufacturing companies or a couple companies that actually like make stuff, but for the most part, it's intellectual property and entertainment.
Yeah.
And it's cool, but at the same time, like we heavily rely on tourism and people stimulating the economy, or else it doesn't really move the way that it needs to.
Yeah, it doesn't run.
Right. Yeah, like it's bad whenever restaurants are empty down here.
I mean,
If
yeah.
hotels are empty and restaurants are empty, like our community is not doing.
Yeah.
But for people, I mean, even kind of going now to the other side of like travel, how easy is it to book a plane ticket? Like now all of these airlines have apps. Again, your credit card most likely tied into it. You're getting emails every single day saying, "Hey, there's a great deal," or you Google something or you say something into your phone and they're like, "I know you want to go to this place."
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
now you
yeah.
start getting blasted with emails of, "All right, there's this trip to the Bahamas or there's this trip to Vegas or there's this trip to wherever."
I get like all of these cruise emails now, and I'm like, oh my God. And they're like, you get 50% off
Right.
if you buy right now. Like,
Yeah.
buy it right now. And I'm like, oh my God, please no, because I will. Like,
Right.
that's one of my impulse buys. Is I
Yeah,
see
I've
all these
actually been
like,
getting this email from, Google in my Gmail to fly to Denver, and I looked up Denver flights, like, 2 years ago because I was gonna go to some comedy show in Denver.
mm-hmm.
I'm like, "How do I get rid of this thing?"
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it tracks you and it will hit you the amount of money that is being spent on this target marketing because it works. There's a
Yeah.
dopamine rush that people get whenever they open their inbox, whenever we look at our phone. The studies are crazy how many times a day we open our phone whenever it pings the signal that now goes off in our head.
Mhm.
And not I mean, most of us don't even have our phone on ring, but just that buzz. Anytime a phone buzzes, like if we're in an environment like this, like we all probably pull up our phone within a couple
Yeah.
seconds of each other just to see, okay, who is it? What is it?
Mhm.
And we want this like immediate hit of dopamine. And then it's like an ad, and you're like, it kind of sounds nice to get away and go do something. Or it'll be a clothing company that I just bought from, and I'm like, I want this. Like there have been so many times where I've gotten an email and I'm just sitting around and I'm bored or at my desk. And I'm like, all right, I've got 15 minutes to kill. And I open up something and I'm like, yeah, that looks amazing. I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
And
I've
people
done
get caught in
that.
that trap
Yeah, I've
all the
done that.
time. So again, not that it's like bad, it's not good, but if people are saving the proper amount of money first, then they can guilt free spend whatever is left. The problem is so many people just spend first and then they get to the end and they're like, I have nothing left to save.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely been there where I've like overspent on a trip or something like that.
Yeah.
You just go and before you know it, like your bank account's drained and you have to put more money into it. You limited yourself to a certain amount.
Mhm.
But I mean, what are you gonna do? Stop having fun if you're with friends? Like,
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's vacation's tough. And you pay all the money up front to go on the trip, and then you get there, and like you said, okay, well now I've spent all this money to go here. What am I going to do? Not do what
enjoy.
my friends are doing or not have fun while I'm here?
Yeah.
And nothing is really inexpensive anymore. So you talk about go to dinner, have a couple drinks, do whatever, hundreds of dollars. Go do this, go on this excursion, do this, another couple $100s. You leave. I mean, you could be in several hundred or thousands of dollars. I think we were looking it up the other day.
Yeah, we
The
did.
average cost of a vacation for like a family of four, it's like almost 10% of what the average person makes in a year.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
That is true. I mean, like if you make $100,000 a year, what's that factor? I'm not good at math.
Yeah, so I think the average was like the average
I think
person
it
makes
was
like 50 some $1,000 and the average vacation costs about 5 grand if you go on a week long
yeah,
vacation for
for
a
a
family of
week,
four.
yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh.
10% of your money after tax is being used on a 7-day trip, which again, some of your money needs to go to entertainment,
Mhm.
but most people aren't even saving 10% of their income. And
Yeah.
they're using it to go on this 7-day trip. So that's where like the mental disconnect happens, where we really need to get people to be better savers or at least understand how money works better because they're kind of making these conscious decisions to spend and do these trips. And more people spend a substantial amount more time planning their vacation than they do thinking about retirement on an annual basis.
Yeah.
Like
Even if you
that's
just planned out that trip a little bit smarter and like you actually followed a budget to that trip, you had each little thing planned out. I mean, some of us aren't planners. I definitely like to plan when I
yeah,
go do things. If it's a camping trip,
Mhm.
if I'm going to Cedar Point or Six Flags or wherever it
yeah,
might be, I want to know: are we going to dinner this night? Are we chilling this
Yeah.
night?
yeah,
So I think if people did that more, it would just benefit their bank account.
for sure. I mean, I was in Orlando 2 weeks ago. I don't even know how long ago it was now, but we had dinner a couple nights. Our hotel was in like the Disney Springs area. So you're walking from the hotel to the restaurant, and the amount of people that are selling things between the restaurant and the hotel. Like if my daughter was here, I would have spent $100 buying bubble machines or like
Yeah.
these wands, or just every single person had something that they were selling. And even after dinner, we were walking around and I'm like, all right, I do want gelato. Like the place was there. I had no need for it. Like I was at dinner, I didn't get dessert, but we were just walking around and I'm like, okay, like ice cream sounds good.
Mhm.
So pop in and $5 or $10 or whatever it is. And it's like, you do that a couple times per week, you do it a handful of times per month. I mean, there's hundreds of dollars that are just going away that are I don't want to say not trackable, but really not accounted for.
Yeah.
I'm definitely doing that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everybody is.
Trust me, I did it at Disney too. I mean, my niece came into town. It was her first time
Mm.
going to Disney. I was like, no way, I can't go. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I went, and we got her the bubble.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And they're masters at marketing.
Mhm.
They do all of the stuff to get the kids to get excited so that the parents spend the money.
Yeah.
And then just the cost of tickets. I mean, you talk about a really over the top experience. I mean, it's very cool there, but the price tag goes with it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So people save up a very long time to do a trip like that. And then other people just say, I'm going to throw it on my credit card and figure it out later. And they may end up paying 2 or 3 times what the trip costs because they accumulated the interest on the credit card debt. So it's really hard to compete with lifestyle as an
Mm.
advisor. Like I lose every time. Like I get that. There's like every single thing in the world is more fun than saving money.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
once people kind of get, okay, we need to do both. We need to save and we need to spend in a way that makes sense, or save first and then have guilt-free spending with the rest of your money, which is really the philosophy that we preach.
Mhm.
It doesn't make people feel so bad about what they're doing because they put their money away first. It's just kind of getting that order of operations down. And I think that's the biggest thing is getting into a routine and having people understand you can have a very nice level of balance if you do things properly.
I think it just starts off with a lot of like self-discipline and knowing that you shouldn't be spending like the little like the $10 every day for a cup of coffee, like that
Sure,
kind of
but okay,
thing.
so you know that. Are
Yeah,
you gonna stop? Like, are you gonna get coffee tomorrow?
I don't know.
You will.
Yeah, she will.
You're right. But that's the thing. So it's like we know that things are wrong and we know that we shouldn't do them. And self-discipline, yes, like everybody needs to take some level of accountability,
Mhm.
but sometimes people need other people to hold them accountable and they
Mhm.
need to
Yeah.
have somebody like us in their life to say, "Give me the roadmap.
Mhm.
Show me what this would look like." Just like going to the gym.
It's
Like
a habit.
yeah, like I know I've talked about this a lot on here just because of like what I've done over the last couple of years and making like a big transformation. But without having a trainer, I could have read as many books as I wanted. I could have seen exactly what I should eat, exactly what the workout should be. Without having somebody saying, "You're going to be here at this time. I'm going to be here with you, and we're going to make sure that every single thing goes the way that it's supposed to." There's no way I would have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's just it's impossible. Like I've had so many opportunities over the course of my life to do that and it didn't happen. And I think that's the same with a lot of people with spending is I'm going to get to it or at the beginning of the year. That's like right around this time. So this is going to air probably right around Thanksgiving. People are right getting into the New Year's resolution habits.
Mhm.
From now until Christmas, people will start to put a list together. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Top couple things. I'm going to get in shape and I'm going to figure out my finances.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Those are the main 2 things that every January that people put on their
Yep.
thing.
Mhm.
Gym memberships skyrocket
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
after the first couple weeks in January. People are still paying. And again, we didn't even talk about this, but unused subscriptions. People
Yeah.
sign up for something, they don't even know that they have it, and they continue to pay month after month after month.
Yeah.
I've done that where I've signed up for like the free trial and then have forgotten to like cancel the
Yeah.
subscription. I've been paying for Amazon Prime for like months now
Oh,
just because I keep forgetting to unsubscribe.
I'm on top of that. Like,
Yeah.
I signed up for a free subscription. I'm like, that needs to get canceled. Like, I
Yeah.
did Factor,
Yeah.
it was a meal plan. So I did that the other week just because I knew I wasn't gonna have time. But I was like, as soon as Monday hits, once I get my meals, it's getting canceled.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And again, that's things that maybe you're not going to use, but what about things that you have and maybe use periodically?
Yeah.
Or maybe things that you have that you have double of in some capacity.
Mhm.
So I think now, and again, kind of going back to my situation with a daughter, the amount of subscriptions like Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, all of these different things where some of them, depending on like if you have a certain credit card or if you have a certain phone subscription or whatever it is, like you get memberships to these things
Mhm.
that people are
Mhm.
paying for and they don't know that if you link this to this, it's free and they're paying tens or hundreds of dollars a month for certain things
Yeah.
just because they just don't know all the rules or how these memberships work.
I think you really have to like look at it, and like some people are just click, click, click on the TV
Right.
when they're buying these subscriptions. I think the TV is like the biggest culprit for any subscriptions. I mean, obviously the phone too. Luckily, if you have like an iPhone or something like that, you can go in and see your subscriptions on there.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
people should be checking that. Same with like how much you look at your phone. You can see how many times you picked up your phone in the
Oh
day.
yeah.
Um, we talked about that earlier, but yeah, I mean, just you just gotta be on top of your stuff, and
Yeah,
but
and
sometimes you need help too.
and I'll tell you,
Yeah.
I mean, people, even people that want to be, it's very hard to be. It's very hard to know things that you don't know, or it's very hard to break habits that, again, like the picking up my phone or getting the alert that I think the average person is on their phone like 8 to 10 hours a day
Yep.
through watching videos or on social media or working or doing whatever. Like, that's a lot, but okay, well, okay, how do I fix it? Or what do I do as a deterrent? Or
Yeah.
how do I not buy as many things? And those are things that I think we help a lot of people understand. And again, it's not just like, okay, now you're not allowed to buy anything. Like, I'm not the money police. That's not what I do for any of my clients. It's just explaining to them how money works, where they will be if they keep doing the things that they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
what things look like if they change things a little bit, and how we can kind of take what they're doing now, modify it slightly, and get to a favorable outcome.
Yeah, it's showing them that they can still do some of the same things that they're doing, but improve their life in the long run if they listen to you, right?
Yeah, and sometimes they don't even need to change things. They just need to not make it worse in the future. For
Yeah.
the most part, a lot of people make more money later than they do now. So I would think if either of you, if 10 years from now, if you were here and we were like, hey, great news, we're paying you the same amount in 2035 as we are in 2025, you'd be like, we're out of here. We're going to a new job. So
Yeah.
people will make more money over time, or they will change jobs and make more money. So all we need is for lifestyle to not increase at the same level that their pay increases.
Mm.
Yeah.
So as long as we can stick to where we're at now, we can make progress. It's if things keep going up the way that they have in the past is where we run into problems. And that's what people have become accustomed to
Yeah.
is I get a little bit of raise, or as soon as I get a tax refund or I get a bonus, like that money's already spent mentally.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, oh, I just got this extra money. I'm going to put it away or save it.
Yeah.
That's my vacation fund.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. People know exactly like if they're getting a bonus, if they have a regular bonus even,
Yeah.
which there are some places that do that, they know that they're instantly where it's going. They're thinking it's a
Yeah, I feel
vacation,
like
it's a
when people,
laptop,
Right.
whatever it might be.
yeah,
Yeah.
people when they know they're getting like an annual bonus, have already spent it in their head.
Mhm.
Like they don't even count it because they've already bought that car. Or they already spent that vacation
Which
money.
instead it could go somewhere
Yeah.
else
Yeah.
that will help you down the road.
And that's the hard part is we can lay out all of the options for people, but it's really up to them what they do with it. So we want our viewers to kind of be interactive with us.
Yeah.
Let us know. I mean, what are you guys doing with your bonuses, with your tax refunds? Let us know what you want us to talk about. I think that this is a lot of stuff that people have given us feedback on. So talking about money, but in a relatable way, is really good. And we want there to be a lot of dialogue and interaction with us. So reach out to us on our socials. I know Troy will put the stuff up there. We've launched a couple new pages. So reach out to us, tell us what you think, and we want this to be interactive. We'll see you next week.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. What? Did she start recording? Oh. I
good
thought
if
you
she
caught
would've.
that on video. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
It's all right. Oh, you didn't read the sign. It says don't slam the door open.
It's not what the sign
It says
says.
like please open the door very cautiously or something.
Careful. Caution.
In and out of this, right?
I think it is.
This is a classic.
I know.
Great song.
Registered representative and financial advisor, Park Avenue Securities, LLC, PAS, OSJ 14021, Metropolis Ave, Fort Myers, Florida 33912 239 561 2900. Securities products and advisory services offered through PAS, member FINRA, SIPC, financial representative of the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America, New York, NY. PAS is a wholly owned subsidiary of Guardian. Alliance Financial Group is not an affiliate or subsidiary of PAS or Guardian. CA insurance license number 0M21715. AR insurance license number 158383330. 8596950.1 expires 11/27.